Let me ask you something real. Have you ever worked hard, stayed positive, visualized success, and still felt empty? Have you ever wondered why, even with all the affirmations and law of attraction videos, life doesn't seem to change the way you want? Here's the truth. Most people are manifesting wrong. In this video, I'm going to show you how to completely rewire the way you think about manifestation. Not with hype, but with ancient wisdom that still works today. Stay till the end, because I'll give you one shift, a mindset tool rooted in Stoicism and backed by psychology that can change how you handle frustration, failure, and your future forever. Let's get into it. 1. Breaking the illusion. Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right? Visualizing success, setting goals, working hard, but still, happiness and peace feel just out of reach. It's frustrating, right? You've been there. You've read all the books, followed the gurus, meditated, and tried every trick in the book. And yet, it feels like something is missing. Despite all your efforts, there's still this lingering sense of dissatisfaction, an emptiness that you can't quite shake off. And you're not alone. In fact, this feeling is more common than you think. It's a result of living in a world obsessed with manifestation. We've all heard the phrases, think positive and it will come. Ask, believe, receive. The universe is listening. Or you attract what you are. Sounds good, doesn't it? But here's the raw truth. You can't manifest everything you want unless you learn to control how you think. And when I say control how you think, I don't just mean wishful thinking. It's not about painting a smile on your face and hoping for the best. It's about deep, grounded, powerful thinking. The kind of thinking that doesn't just passively wait for things to come, but actively shapes your actions, fuels your discipline, and influences every decision you make. The kind of thinking that builds true peace and a life of meaning, without relying on external validation or constant approval. Now, this is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism isn't some abstract philosophy for academics to debate. It's a practical, actionable guide that teaches you how to approach life's challenges with calm, clarity, and resilience. And more importantly, it provides the mental framework to manifest the life you were always meant to live, not based on fleeting hopes or societal expectations, but grounded in a mindset that is steady, empowered, and free from the chaos of the outside world. But before we go any further, let me make something clear. This isn't a motivational speech. This isn't a quick fix that promises to change your life overnight. It's a way of life, a way to rewire your mind so that you can manifest the life you've always dreamed of, without being at the mercy of results, rejection, or unrealistic expectations. In this video, we will unpack why manifestation often fails. We'll dig into why the traditional law of attraction approach doesn't work for most people, and why your thoughts alone aren't enough to bring success. Learn Stoic wisdom that helps you take full command of your emotions and goals. Stoicism teaches that you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. I'll show you how to use this wisdom to transform frustration into power and take control of your own destiny. Build a step-by-step method to manifest on your own terms, not how the world expects you to. You won't need to rely on external circumstances. We'll break down the steps you need to take to harness your inner power, regardless of what's happening outside. This isn't about controlling the world. It's about controlling yourself and your reactions to it. And most importantly, learn how to be truly happy, even before your dreams come true. This is the key to real manifestation. Happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you cultivate from within, and I'll show you how to do that using Stoic principles. But here's the game changer. stay with me until the end, because I'll show you one simple yet profound mindset shift that can completely transform how you approach life. This shift is rooted in ancient Stoic wisdom, supported by modern psychology, and can turn your deepest frustration into unstoppable clarity and momentum. So, if you're tired of chasing after happiness or feeling like manifestation is a pipe dream, then this video is for you. Let's dive in. 2. What manifestation misses? In today's world, we're constantly told that manifestation is the key to success. The modern idea of manifestation goes something like this. Just think positively. Visualize your goals every day, and voila, the universe will deliver. It sounds simple, right? Like a straightforward path to everything you've ever dreamed of. But here's the psychological trap that most people don't realize. When you attach your emotional state to an imagined outcome, you're setting yourself up for chronic disappointment. Think about it. When you vividly visualize your success, whether it's landing that dream job, launching a business, or achieving a personal goal, your brain doesn't actually differentiate between imagining success and achieving it in reality. In that moment of visualizing your future self, you feel a rush of happiness, excitement, and fulfillment. It's like a mental high. You get a taste of what it feels like to have your dream come true. But here's where the problem lies. Once you return to reality, that feeling doesn't stick. The world around you hasn't changed yet. You haven't reached your goals, and the discrepancy between your imagined success and the current situation can cause disappointment. That's when the emotional roller coaster begins. You feel a sense of emptiness. The joy of your vision fades, and reality feels distant and harsh. And then, what happens next? The cycle of anxiety, doubt, and comparison starts to take over. You start wondering why you haven't achieved what you've been visualizing. You see others succeeding and wonder, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't this working for me? That self-doubt spirals, and you're left feeling more lost than ever. The key takeaway here is that manifestation doesn't address the root cause of why you feel unsatisfied. It offers a temporary high, but it doesn't teach you how to handle the emotional aftermath when things don't immediately fall into place. This is where the Stoics come in. The Stoics understood this psychological trap over 2,000 years ago. One of the most famous Stoic philosophers, Epictetus, said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." What this means is that it's not the external events in our lives that cause us suffering, it's the way we interpret and react to them. In other words, our thoughts, expectations, and emotional attachments to outcomes often cause more distress than the reality of the situation itself. So, what does this tell us about manifestation? Manifestation fails because it relies too much on external outcomes for happiness. When you attach your well-being to something outside of your control, like the timing of your dreams or other people's success, you create an emotional dependency that is always fragile. When the universe doesn't respond on your timeline, you suffer. The Stoics, on the other hand, taught that true peace comes not from what you get or achieve, but from how you respond to what you have and where you are. They understood that you suffer more in your imagination than in reality. The pain, frustration, and disappointment you feel isn't caused by the lack of success, but by the unrealistic expectations you place on the outcome and the emotional weight you attach to that imagined success. So, what's the fix? Let's dive deeper into the Stoic approach to overcoming this cycle. It's not about eliminating desire or giving up on your dreams. It's about reprogramming your mind to detach your happiness from outcomes, focusing instead on cultivating inner strength and clarity. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's explore why this shift in perspective is the real key to manifesting the life you want. 3. Stoicism 101. The core idea. At its core, Stoicism is a philosophy of control and acceptance. It teaches that we only control two things in this world: our thoughts, our actions. That's it. Everything else, the outcomes, the results, the reactions of other people, the circumstances surrounding us, is outside our control. We can influence them, but we can't command them to act according to our desires. This might sound restrictive at first, but this isn't pessimism. It's the opposite. It's liberation. Here's why. Once you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you free up your energy. The constant mental strain of trying to manipulate things you can't change, like other people's opinions, the timing of events, or the randomness of life, saps your focus and peace. When you stop stressing over these external factors, you gain clarity. You start living in the present moment because you're not constantly waiting for the future to validate your worth. And ironically, this freedom from emotional attachment to outcomes is what creates the best chance for real, lasting change. To understand this more, let's take an example of preparing for a job interview. A modern-day manifester would approach this by visualizing themselves landing the job, feeling the excitement of success, and trying to keep the vibes high through positive thinking. They might think, if I just feel it enough, I will manifest the job. While this kind of mindset can be motivating, it creates a dependence on a specific outcome, which can be dangerous. The manifestor's emotional well-being is tied to the result. If they don't get the job, they might feel devastated, wondering what went wrong, doubting their abilities, or even blaming the universe for not delivering. Now, imagine a Stoic in the same situation. A Stoic would approach the job interview with the following thoughts: I will prepare fully. I will present my best self. I will stay calm and focused during the interview. And if I don't get it, that's feedback, not failure. The key difference here is that the Stoic is not emotionally owned by the outcome. They still want the job, but their happiness doesn't hinge on getting it. They accept that they can control how they prepare and how they present themselves, but the decision of whether they get the job is outside their control. If they don't get the job, they don't see it as a personal failure, but rather as a learning experience, an opportunity for growth. This mindset is incredibly powerful because it releases you from the stress of chasing results. It allows you to focus on what you can control, your actions, your thoughts, your effort, and let go of the need to control everything else. That is real power. By letting go of attachment to external outcomes, you find that you can approach life with greater peace. And ironically, that is when true success often comes to you. Because when you are no longer desperate for a specific result, you can act with more authenticity, more clarity, and more confidence, which naturally increases your chances of success. 4. The psychology of control. In the world of psychology, there's a concept called the internal locus of control. It's a powerful idea that refers to the belief that your actions, decisions, and efforts matter more than external factors like luck, fate, or other people's influence. Essentially, it's the mindset that you're in control of your life, and your outcomes are determined by your own choices, not by forces outside of your control. People who have an internal locus of control are often more resilient. They bounce back from setbacks because they believe they can influence their future through their actions. Less anxious, since they don't feel at the mercy of luck or external circumstances, they experience less anxiety about what they cannot control. More likely to achieve long-term goals. They set clear goals and work consistently toward them because they believe their efforts will eventually pay off. Now here's where Stoicism and this psychology meet. Stoicism naturally cultivates this internal locus of control. By focusing on what's within your control, your thoughts, your actions, and your mindset, Stoicism encourages you to stop depending on external validation or outcomes for your happiness. When you stop giving power to things you can't control, like how people perceive you or whether you get immediate results, you bring your happiness back home. You start building your sense of fulfillment from within, rooted in your daily habits, your values, and your integrity. This is incredibly empowering because you stop feeling like a victim of circumstances. You take full ownership of your journey. Instead of manifesting from a place of desperation or frustration, where you are constantly chasing results and hoping they'll make you happy, you start building from alignment. What does this mean? It means that you are aligning your thoughts, actions, and goals with your core values. You're no longer relying on external outcomes to dictate your emotional state. Instead, you find purpose and satisfaction in the process itself, your consistent effort, your growth, and your resilience. This shift is key. When you manifest from alignment rather than desperation, you stop chasing something outside of you. You begin to attract success naturally because your actions are consistent, authentic, and true to who you are. Your focus is on doing the right things, not obsessing over whether you get a specific result. You no longer feel anxious or desperate. You feel empowered, knowing that your actions are enough, regardless of the external outcome. This mindset doesn't just make you happier in the moment, it makes you more effective in the long run. Because when you're focused on what you can control, you'll naturally improve your habits, your decision-making, and your ability to respond to challenges. And, ironically, that's when real success often shows up. The manifestation trap: desire versus attachment. Here's a critical point when it comes to manifestation. It's okay to want things. In fact, the Stoics never said desire was evil. Desire, in its purest form, is simply the recognition of something you'd like to achieve or experience. It's part of being human. But here's where it gets tricky. The moment your identity depends on having that thing, you're in chains. Let's break this down with a common example. Starting your own business. Imagine you want to build your dream business. You're passionate, you believe in the idea, and you're ready to make it happen. If you say, "I want this because I believe in it," that's powerful. You'll stay focused on the work, the process, and the journey because you're driven by purpose, not by the outcome. But what happens if you shift your perspective and say, "I need this to feel worthy"? This is where things start to go wrong. Now, your worth as a person is tied to the success of your business. Every setback, every failure or delay feels like a personal attack. You're no longer just dealing with the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. You're facing an existential crisis every time things don't go according to plan. You start to feel crushed because your identity is now tangled up with the outcome of your efforts. The business isn't just a project anymore. It's a measure of your self-worth. This is the trap of attachment. Desire becomes toxic when it becomes attachment, when your emotional well-being and sense of self depend entirely on something outside of your control. Stoicism teaches that you must detach yourself, not from the goal or desire itself, but from the outcome. This means that while you can still deeply desire success, the key is to free yourself from the need for it to define who you are. You do the work because it aligns with your values and your goals, but you don't depend on the outcome to feel complete. When you detach from the outcome, you become unshakable. Why? Because no matter what happens, you don't allow external events to dictate your sense of worth. Whether your business succeeds or fails, whether you achieve your goal or not, your self-esteem isn't tied to it. You stay grounded because your happiness is now rooted in who you are and how you show up. not in what you achieve. This is where true power lies. You can pursue your dreams with everything you have, but you no longer need them to validate your worth. You're able to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them, without fearing that failure means you're not good enough. In this way, Stoicism frees you from the endless cycle of success and failure. It empowers you to act with purpose, resilience, and inner peace, regardless of what the world throws at you. Sixth Stoic Manifestation Framework. Now that we've explored the limits of traditional manifestation and how Stoicism helps us transcend those limitations, it's time to learn how to manifest on your own terms, the Stoic way. This framework will help you take control of your thoughts, actions, and emotions while pursuing your dreams with a deeper sense of purpose. Let's break it down into 5 essential components. 1. Clarity. Know what you want. But more importantly, know why you want it. The first step in Stoic manifestation is clarity. It's not enough to simply know what you want. You must understand why you want it. Having a clear sense of purpose is key. Your why acts as your guiding compass, especially when things get tough. For example, you might want to start a business, but why? Is it because you're passionate about solving a particular problem? Or is it just for the financial gain or social status? The Stoic approach asks you to dig deeper and connect your desires to your core values, ensuring that your pursuit is aligned with who you truly are. When you know why you want something, you're less likely to be distracted by short-term setbacks. The journey becomes about fulfillment, not just about achieving a specific goal. This clarity keeps you grounded, even when the outcome isn't immediately clear. 2. Preparation. Focus on what you control: skills, effort, presence. The second step is preparation. In Stoicism, you focus only on what is within your control: your skills, your effort, and your presence. Everything else is out of your hands. You can't control how the world will respond, but you can control how you show up every day. So, in the pursuit of your goals, don't just dream or visualize. Prepare. Put in the work. Improve your abilities. Be disciplined. If you want to start a business, learn the skills necessary to run it. If you're pursuing a job, invest in your knowledge and abilities. Focus on consistency and show up each day ready to give your best, regardless of the outcome. 3. Detachment. Want the result, but accept whatever comes. Detachment is one of the most powerful Stoic principles. While you can still desire the result, you must detach your emotional well-being from it. In other words, want the result, but accept whatever comes. If you want to grow a successful business, for instance, you'll want it badly. But if it doesn't go as planned, you accept it as part of the journey. This doesn't mean you stop trying or give up. It simply means you don't let the result define you. Failure doesn't mean you're a failure as a person. It's just feedback. Your attachment to the outcome should never be stronger than your attachment to your values and actions. 4. Resilience. Use failure as fuel, not as a reason to quit. This brings us to resilience. In Stoicism, failure is not something to fear. In fact, the Stoics viewed failure as a natural part of the process, something to embrace, learn from, and grow through. Failure is fuel. When things don't go as planned, don't see it as a sign to quit. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to improve? Remember, it's not the failure itself that defines you. It's how you respond to it. Resilience means staying committed to your purpose and using every setback as an opportunity to become stronger and wiser. 5. Gratitude. Practice present moment. Joy, no matter the outcome. Finally, Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoic manifestation. It's about practicing present-moment joy no matter the outcome. Gratitude grounds you in the now. It reminds you that life is about more than just achieving specific goals. It's about appreciating the journey. Every day, take time to be thankful for the effort, the lessons, and the growth, even if the external results haven't arrived yet. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's already present in your life. You start appreciating the process instead of obsessing over the finish line. This shifts your perspective and allows you to find contentment in the here and now. Putting it all together. So, what does it look like to manifest the Stoic way? It's not about passively waiting for the universe to deliver. You're showing up every day, aligned and alive. You take control of your actions, stay grounded in the present, and trust the process, regardless of the outcome. This approach makes you unstoppable because you're not relying on external factors to define your happiness or success. You've internalized your power, and now your path forward is shaped by clarity, preparation, detachment, resilience, and gratitude. These principles give you the mental and emotional freedom to pursue your goals with purpose and peace, no matter what challenges arise. 7. Real-world example. The entrepreneur mindset. Let's bring all of this theory into a real-world scenario. Think about two entrepreneurs who are both trying to build successful businesses. Entrepreneur 1. This person is constantly visualizing success. They use positive affirmations, imagining the life they want, and picturing their future success every day. But underneath all of this positive thinking, they are terrified of rejection. The fear of failure, of being judged, or of not being good enough often keeps them paralyzed. Every time they pitch an idea or seek investors, that fear holds them back. The thought of someone saying no feels devastating. Entrepreneur 2. This person also desires success, but understands something important. Rejection is part of the game. Instead of avoiding failure, they lean into it, knowing that every no brings them closer to a yes. They focus on learning from each rejection, improving their pitch, refining their business model, and gaining feedback. For them, failure isn't a reflection of their worth, but rather an opportunity for growth. Who wins in the long run? The second entrepreneur. Why? Because resilience beats hype. The first entrepreneur might have all the right visualizations and intentions, but the constant fear of rejection will hold them back. Every time they face an obstacle, they see it as a personal defeat. They get discouraged, they spiral into self-doubt, and over time that fear starts to sabotage their success. The second entrepreneur, on the other hand, doesn't let failure define them. They understand that the path to success is filled with ups and downs, and they accept that rejection is not the end. It's simply a step in the process. They build resilience by focusing on the things they can control: their preparation, their skills, and their response to setbacks. This type of resilience doesn't just help you endure failure, it helps you grow through it. And over time, that resilience makes you stronger, more capable, and more successful. It helps you build the character that success is drawn to. The key difference: when you stop obsessing over the outcome, the result of the deal, the yes or the no, and instead focus on your character, you become the kind of person success gravitates towards. You start embodying the qualities of a resilient, persistent, and adaptable entrepreneur, and that makes you a magnet for opportunities. In Stoic terms, you learn to focus on what you can control: your preparation, your mindset, your ability to respond to challenges, and let go of attachment to outcomes. The Stoic entrepreneur doesn't define themselves by their successes or failures. They define themselves by their commitment to growth and their unwavering resilience. 8. Modern manifestation versus Stoic manifestation. In today's world, manifestation has become a popular concept. You hear phrases like visualize your dreams and believe in the universe. And while these ideas have their benefits, they often miss a crucial piece: the importance of who you become in the process. Let's compare modern manifestation with Stoic manifestation side by side. Modern manifestation, Stoic manifestation. Outcome-focused, character-focused. Modern manifestation often revolves around the desired outcome, achieving a specific result, be it success, wealth, or recognition. The entire process is centered on the belief that once you focus enough, the universe will deliver. Stoic manifestation, on the other hand, centers around building your character. It's not about obsessing over what you'll get, but about who you are becoming in the process. It's about aligning your actions with your values and showing up every day with integrity, regardless of the outcome. Emotion-driven, value-driven. In modern manifestation, success or happiness is often linked to your emotional state. If you feel good enough, positive enough, or excited enough, it's believed that you'll draw in positive results. But emotions are fleeting and can change quickly. Stoic manifestation is rooted in values, not transient emotions. It's about cultivating deep, consistent internal principles like discipline, courage, wisdom, and justice. Your actions are grounded in these values, making your pursuit more stable and less susceptible to the ups and downs of emotions. Expectation-heavy, acceptance-based modern manifestation places a lot of pressure on having high expectations. You believe that if you wish hard enough or visualize often enough, the universe will deliver exactly what you desire. When things don't match expectations, disappointment arises. Stoic manifestation focuses on acceptance, accepting whatever happens and adapting accordingly. You understand that outcomes aren't always in your hands, but how you respond to them is. Acceptance frees you from the burden of unmet expectations and allows you to move forward with resilience and clarity. 9. The power of daily practice. Manifestation isn't just something you do for 10 minutes in the morning and forget about for the rest of the day. It's not a quick fix or a temporary boost. Manifestation is who you are in every moment, a way of living, thinking, and acting consistently. In the Stoic tradition, there is no distinction between the moments when you're consciously trying to manifest your desires and when you're simply going about your day. Every action, every thought, every decision is an opportunity to align yourself with your goals and values. A Stoic practice might look like this. 1. Journaling. What can I control today? Stoics understand that the only things we can truly control are our thoughts and actions. In your journal, ask yourself, what can I control today? This question centers you, reminding you to focus on your effort rather than the result. It encourages you to take responsibility for what's within your power, rather than stressing over the uncontrollable. Whether it's how you respond to challenges or how you show up for others, journaling helps you reflect on your ability to steer your day with purpose. By grounding yourself in what you can control, you shift your energy away from worry and toward meaningful action. Second, morning reflection. How can I act with virtue? In the morning, ask yourself, how can I act with virtue today? This is a powerful practice of introspection. It reminds you to lead with integrity and to align your actions with your core values, whether it's courage, wisdom, justice, or self-control. Virtue isn't a goal to be achieved, it's a way of being. By starting your day with this question, you set the intention to live consciously, acting in accordance with your highest self. You manifest through your character rather than by focusing on external circumstances. Third evening review. Where did I lose control, and how can I learn? At the end of the day, take a moment to reflect. Where did I lose control today? This isn't about beating yourself up, it's about learning. Stoicism teaches that failure is feedback, not a final verdict on your worth. Reflecting on where you went off track allows you to acknowledge your weaknesses and take intentional action to improve. Maybe you reacted with anger in a situation that required patience, or perhaps you let distractions get in the way of your goals. By reviewing the day, you gain valuable insights into how you can grow and improve tomorrow. Every day, you become more rooted, more aligned, more unshakable. Through these daily practices, you don't just manifest through visualization or desire. You manifest through your actions. You're consistently strengthening your ability to respond with virtue, control your thoughts, and stay aligned with your purpose, no matter what external circumstances arise. The power of daily practice is in its consistency. You're shaping your destiny not with bursts of energy, but with deliberate, focused effort day after day. This process makes you unshakable. It removes the reliance on fleeting external factors and builds your internal resilience so you can face challenges with clarity, patience, and determination. The more you practice, the more rooted you become in your true self. And this grounded presence is the real power behind Stoic manifestation. It's not about wishing for something to happen. It's about becoming the person who naturally attracts what they desire. Not by force, but by alignment. If this message connected with you, don't let it stop here. Start your Stoic practice today. Journal, reflect, live with intention. Share this with someone who's stuck in the old way of thinking. And if this video brought even a tiny spark of clarity or strength into your life, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it. Not just to support this channel, but to grow